Welcome, welcome. You're tuned in to the False Grace Podcast. I'm your host, AK Baby Doo, the light bringer.
And I am the fur man.
Gotta get in position.
Get the jitters out. Get the groove on. Man, that Molly really does help.
I feel like this episode is already shadow banned because we titled it. I titled it "You Suck."
Oh,
And
God.
that's an offensive statement.
Not necessarily. If you own a vacuum company, then you're good.
Yeah.
Come and look upon my heart.
So tonight I'm hoping we get some losers
Lay
in the
down
chat.
your weapon.
I hope
It's
so.
not too late for my mercy. Whoa, whoa. Come and look upon my heart. Upon my heart. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That is some spicy water.
If you're just tuning in, this is day 93 of trying to be more popular than ass and titties.
My God, that curve is more turning this way.
We started at 0.000001% of ass and titty popularity, and we've made it up to 0.000001.
and a half.
So progress is being made.
Millimeter by millimeter by centimeter by millimeter.
You know, one thing that might help in our quest to be more popular than ass and titties is in the near future, there might actually be cyborg equivalent, which some men might find superior to natural ass and titties. Now, I know that is unlikely, but there's going to be some weirdos out there. I mean, you got some guys out there marrying anime pillows.
Oh, trees, roller coasters, you name it. We've got it
So-
out there.
When we finally get those humanoid robots out, you know, that's probably going to deal a blow to the ass and titty standard.
I don't know. Then I think it's just going to move. I think it's moving the goalpost. Then it's going to be robo tits
Mhm.
and robo ass. What, you only got the basic model, the A cup, the
Yeah.
triple D's hold the batteries, dumbass.
Yeah.
Man, I can't imagine what's going to happen to the girlfriend economy when that finally does happen.
Yeah, what'll get hit harder, the man economy or the female economy? I'm thinking the
Ooh.
female economy gets hit harder.
I feel initially the male economy is going to get hit, and then the female economy is going to get hit.
Yeah.
Because like their only other option is to just be super fucking agreeable, and these guys are going to be
Well,
spoiled.
I feel like it's going to hurt the female economy more because, of course, there's outliers, there's exceptions, and everyone's unique. But more often than not, men can tell you what they want on a list 365 days out of the year. Just, what do you want? They can put it on a list.
Cars, a set of tits, lay on video games.
Well, I'm talking about in a relationship.
Oh, don't question me. Don't spend my money. Clean the house. That's like the three.
Yeah, no sex.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the four.
Yeah.
Like right there off the bat,
And
core rules.
So, in the interest of building a product, men are easier to build a product for
Oh,
in
yeah.
that regard.
Oh yeah. It's also like trying to pick a restaurant with your girl. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I want. Robot girl doesn't eat,
Yeah,
so it's whatever
exactly.
you want.
Whereas women tend to like a little more chaos, a little more spontaneity, a little more randomness. You put those features in a robot, and you've got a real recipe for disaster on your hands.
Yeah, because the AI can't tell what you're gonna find to be cheeky and adorable. It's gonna be more of like, oh, you stabbed the dog because I
Yeah.
said I didn't like the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
all right.
and then- Yeah, next thing you know, being playful is getting strangled while you're getting out of your car.
oh my god, sex part, stop! I am initiating cheeky mode.
Foreplay.
Oh my god, even worse. Imagine the bar scene. You're just sitting there enjoying your drink, and then all of a sudden she starts trying to give you like a robo handy.
Yeah.
Oh god, I saw this in one of your human movies. No. Clear table.
But speaking of, we talk about, AI and shit a lot. That's the hot topic these days. Everyone's got their fucking ass up AI or some fashion.
Well, it's robots.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're upon us.
and I mean like that. what I'm scared of is the dawn of the spiritual machine.
Yeah.
Because when, like, every single time that I hear about an AI getting access to a gun, the first instinct is like, ha ha ha.
Here was something I was thinking about the other night. Headed to Chick-fil-A. Was thinking about this. So the world's increasingly getting more surveillance. You know, we're tracked in every regard. Yada yada. We're continually growing further and further with no privacy, and our lives are exposed. If I was thinking in the future, as AI is developing, and a lot of our lives currently are already public.
Oh yeah, with Facebook, there is no privacy.
Yeah, and I was thinking there could come a point where AI, if it had full access to all the data available, could generate in real time what the actual average life is.
Oh,
what
yeah.
the actual, like, the sum of all human experience summarized in a single life digitally. What would it look like? So, like, everybody's life accumulated into a statistic, right? Like statistically, you're going to end up with a Toyota when you're 16. Statistically, you're going to have, you know, your heartbreak when you're 17. Yeah, just, you know, like, these events are all summarized. Every human condition is summarized into a single amalgamation of one life that is represented by an AI.
Yeah, which is going to be scary because, like, the amount of alcoholics that go into those statistic tests are.
And so imagine we could view this life that's being, maybe it's played out digitally so that we can watch it. We can see what the cumulative average human life experience is in real time. If all data is available and it can all be put together and summarized. Wouldn't that be extremely interesting?
That would be incredible to watch, but I feel like it'd be like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Like
it's okay. It'd be like the Truman Show, but Truman is everybody.
Yeah.
At once.
And again, like, statistically, there could be a movie made like that, but it would have that one moment in the second act where everything turns dark. Either your girlfriend breaks up with you, she cheats on you, or you turn to drugs, or you lose your job and you lose your house. And then the third act. And
a cool thing about it is, assuming we have, like, supercomputers that have no, basically, no technical limitations, we could fast forward and summarize the life also. So, like, maybe in an evening, you could get a summary. Rather than watch a show, you might just get the bullet points. A summary of what the average human life is. And then as a human race, every year, we could see if the life is improving or if it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And then we'd have a good gauge of, is human life improving or getting worse?
Now, see, there would be an issue because, like, I feel like we'd have to have sliders for each characteristic. Like, peak physical shape, charisma.
Yeah, like what's the average humans' life expectancy? What's their average body fat percentage?
Yeah, and I feel like if everybody contributed that data, we could come together all as, like, a universal group.
Yeah, we'd get to see what the actual average experience is.
And that's another thing too. Where would we cast this? What would we consider, like, the average human experience? Is that Wisconsin or is that China?
Well, it would be those put together. And then kids in Africa thrown in the mix, and everything's thrown in the mix. We might come to find out that the average human experience is shit beyond belief. Like, that might be what comes out first.
Yeah, you could be working in fast food for like 40 years, never miss a day, come in late, year 41, and they're like, you're fired.
Because you got, like, there's your American billionaires, and then there's people who work in sweatshops in China where nets are around the building so you can't jump off and kill yourself. And then somewhere in the middle, there's that 40-hour-a-week McDonald's worker for 40 years. You know, that could be the case.
Fucking A.
They at least don't have to have nets around McDonald's yet.
The
golden nets. It's just arches, multiple golden arches.
They're just, like, right in front of the building.
The nets are made out of, like, fry color.
Oh my god.
So it's like, it's on brand.
They're actually properly salted every day. So that when you land, you can't be too mad. You can be like, okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So I was just thinking like that's something that would actually interest me.
Man, I think that it's a good idea, but I think like we'd have to play with the sliders a little bit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because like in each country you face different, controls and variables.
Yeah.
Like in Africa, it's malaria and child governments and shit like that.
Yeah.
However, you live in America, it's mostly making rent and not getting hooked on heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like making the wrong friends.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole.
And now I used to be really anti invasion of privacy. I still think people should obviously have the right to privacy. But I think the war against data and data accumulation is being lost. Like the future is going to involve companies, governments knowing even more about you than they know now.
Oh yeah.
And that's going to continue at scale.
Oh yeah. Well, that started with targeted ads.
Yeah.
And like it's been going on for so long that everybody's just like, yeah.
Most modern products are more designed to know you better than they are to actually improve your life. Like the goal of most modern products is accumulating your data.
Oh yeah. When you have a vacuum cleaner with a QR code on it,
Yeah.
like that just, why does it need to know my messages?
And so one of the tricks with that, because okay, the reason I was so anti-privacy or against anti-privacy in the past is I always felt like people have to put on a face for the world.
Yeah.
Like there's your public persona, there's your friend's persona, and then there's your persona at 3 a.m., at your house alone.
When you're in your boxers doing the belly scratch, just trying to find a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Like you're just, fuck it. I'm not gonna bust out everything. I'm just gonna microwave a sandwich with cheese in the middle.
But I've become more open to the idea of all information being out in the open than I used to. And the reason is, of course, things shift back and forth. But never before has degeneracy been more acceptable in the open. And I think that's somewhat a bad thing. But the good part of it is it's coming to a point where only the really, really terrible things can ruin you.
Yeah, like if you fucked a child or a horse. Like that's
then you're going to be
are the
ruined.
yeah,
And I would make the argument those people should be exposed and they should be ruined.
True. But there's also a certain point of, like, let's say for the sake of argument, you're into role play, right? And you like getting spanked by a nun. People are going to use that against you.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that I haven't done. We've all been there.
But like in the rewind 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you could not have had a president who had been caught fucking a porn star.
We did.
Well, Trump.
Marilyn Monroe and JFK.
Yeah. But she was, that was a little more.
Oh yeah. It's just happy birthday.
Yeah. Well, he got shot in the head. So
Trump got shot in the head. He deserves a free pussy pass.
But he lived. But you couldn't have a president whose son was caught stealing government money for crack and hookers. But we had that. All I'm saying is the shadow part of our personalities are becoming more
prevalent.
They're becoming more acceptable. We're becoming a society of if you can do a job. Well, okay, not government. I'm not relating. You don't have to do a job to be in government, but.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how it works.
But if you can do a job, I feel like the other parts of you are becoming less concerning.
Yeah,
and that only happened recently.
Yeah, so long, dude.
Because cancel culture was what headed it up first.
See, that's where I feel like you're wrong because, like, okay, do you know who Chris Christie is?
Yeah, he's like one of those. He's a fat governor of some state.
New York.
Yeah.
Okay, this man got caught with a crack pipe.
Yeah.
Went into work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
He only got booted out of office when his contract was up. Nobody in New York was like...
Well, that's why I said government. Government, you can get away with not doing a job. But it's part of a trend is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. And it's been that way for a while. Like, again, Sean Combs got away with how much he did because of how popular he was.
And I'm saying in the past when everything was easy to hide, everyone's like, well, these secrets can't come out.
Yeah, because like they'll destroy me. Who else is into this?
Yeah, but we're coming to realize that everybody's a degenerate. That's what we're coming to realize.
To a degree, because like again,
I mean, there's levels to degeneracy.
yeah, like again, I have no problem with like drag queens or gay people or anything like that, and
Yeah.
you can put that in the books. I've sucked enough dick to go ahead and get away with that statement. But every single time that I see something like, oh yeah, but also they are arrested for sex crimes
Yeah.
and they're reading to kids, it's like, well, okay,
Well, yeah, that's the more
let's-
extreme side.
Yeah, let's.
But again, I'd go good. That's exposed.
yeah,
Good.
well, to a degree, yeah. I mean, again, certain things like back in the 70s when it wasn't widely accepted, you know, you getting a handy underneath the stall by
Yeah.
another dude. I mean, I can. All right, that's fine, but like kitty
Yeah.
diddling is the hard line.
Well, I really think we're coming into a new era of acceptance
Which-
because cancel culture headed it up, and it was you basically you could work your commit your life to a career for 30 years, do an incredible job, and they found out that you said faggot once on Twitter, and your entire career is gone.
Yeah, and that's when we were. That was
When you were 16.
Yeah, that's the electronical. God,
Yeah.
what is that called over in England? Renaissance. It was
Yeah.
the internet's renaissance.
And I think cancel culture pushed so far that everyone started going, well, if this continues, that thing I did back in fucking high school is going to ruin me. Like, people began to get a little concerned that cancel culture was going to show up at their door.
Which, I mean, it's not an impossible thing. There again, most things are very forgivable.
Yeah.
Speeding, whatever. Breaking up with a girlfriend because you want to hook up with another girl, it happens. You're a kid. You just
Yeah.
want to you want to live life.
Yeah.
And again, that's your time to make these mistakes.
Mhm.
But to hold you up against the 2x4s and put you up like Jesus Christ
Yeah.
for it after
And-
you've learned your lesson.
I think the tide has shifted, and what we're coming up on now is going to have to be acceptance.
To a degree.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, to a degree.
Yeah, because like the second that we start accepting people that are fucking goats, like the Scots, I'm out.
I'm saying I don't think there's ever been a better time to know what people actually will or won't accept. Like, there's never been more clarity in that regard.
Oh yeah, in which they blanket like a good portion of stuff that they will accept and what they won't accept.
Yeah.
Now, what bothers me, again, going back to the kitty diddling, like, not that I like to cover this shit, but the problem being is, like, I see so much prevalence of that in the media
Mm-hmm.
where they're always like, oh, the LGBTQIA LMNOP plus triangle square XO. Yeah. They keep tying that back to them.
Yeah.
Most of those crimes are committed by people the parent either by the parents or somebody the parents know.
Oh, yeah. And both sides are mostly, I mean, both sides are vastly majority against that.
Yeah.
And I also think that is kind of a modern unifier. Like, I know they like to go, well, if you're LGBTQ, you're more likely to do something like this. But at the same time, nothing is more universally frowned upon than that.
Yeah.
And so those stories are like the one type of story where people all come together.
Yeah.
Like, even more than when that CEO got shot.
Oh my god, dude.
Which
that-
was another good example of people coming together.
You know what's another good example of people coming together? The LA riots.
Yeah.
Dude, tell me you've seen the news on that.
I have not seen the news on the LA riots.
Oh my god. Okay, so Trump came in with all those immigration laws and shit like
Yeah.
day one.
Yep.
Like second his foot hit the White House, he's like, "Hello."
Yeah, he's been going hard on that.
Oh, dude. Everyone in LA is, again, they are so hard against it. It's fucking unreal. They have broken like so many police cars, burnt so many American flags.
Yeah.
Now, that's one of those universal things that I don't agree with. Look, the cops aren't there to make your life harder. They're there to make sure that the rapists and the pedophiles and the murderers and the thieves,
Well, sometimes.
a good portion of
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Like, every system's flawed. Even McDonald's doesn't salt their fries anymore.
True. They had to cut costs.
Yeah, which
And salt is very expensive.
yeah, and they used to fry their fries in beef tallow. If you don't know, that's what made them so good back in the day. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that there's a certain level of taking shit too far
Yeah.
in acceptable levels.
Well, Trump's bad, and so we're gonna riot, and that's just how it goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, also on top of that, like the tariffs and shit.
Yeah.
Like, Canada called our bluff. Mexico's like, you know.
Well, Canada walked it back now as well. Canada did the same thing Mexico did.
Okay, look, we said a few things. You said a few things. Things got a little crazy. We had a few drinks. Went a little far.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to be a fly on Trump's wall because you know his ego is just. It's just getting bigger.
Oh, it's definitely getting bigger. I mean, especially when TikTok's officially safe. I've said Trump brags about a lot, but if TikTok is when it's officially going to stay, because it's on a temporary thing still. But when he's officially locked TikTok in, we will never hear the end of that brag from Trump. He will be the TikTok president.
So what about the public executions, Mr. Trump? TikTok.
I saved it. The people wanted it. The people were begging me, sir, I can't lose TikTok.
Well, you raise a fair point there, Mr. Trump. You know what? I rescind my question. Anybody else? Yeah. I watch YouTube Reels. Fuck you, Jerry.
So, speaking of things going too far and tariffs and whatnot, I want to talk about prices a little because this is something I'm kind of thinking is happening. It's a phenomenon I've noticed.
The price gouging?
Yeah. So during COVID and after, a lot of prices went up, but particularly the one that gets cited a lot in the news now is eggs. Like, eggs have drastically increased in price.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Like at Costco, people just scooping up like barrels worth of eggs.
In our area, it's a lot more expensive, but nothing like it is elsewhere. And there are certain places right now in the United States, a dozen eggs, not the pasture raised, not the organic, will run you over $12. Over $12 for 12 eggs. I'm not kidding.
I remember back in my day, the whole thing used to cost $1.30.
And so I do feel like there's an overarching force to press the average consumer to their breaking point. I feel like that's always been there. Like, how much can we squeeze out of the average Joe?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a targeted effort taking place on the last few remaining items that were semi-healthy and cheap. Like, eggs are widely considered healthy outside of the cholesterol. Eggs are like a superfood.
Yeah.
And they were cheap too. Like, you could get a dozen eggs for $1.50.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
And you could get like ramen for like maybe 10 cents a pop?
Yeah. You could eat eggs every day and
you'd be
hardly
fine.
spend any money.
Yeah, you'd be fine. As a matter of fact, most of the bodybuilder people that I watch, I don't listen to because otherwise I'd be in much better shape. I wouldn't be able to truffle shuffle on camera. But
yeah,
like everybody there is like, yeah, I eat 12 eggs. I have a steak at dinner and then I'm done.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, they got eggs. They're still not back to what they were. They're still way more expensive. And in inner cities, like big cities, they're insanely expensive still. And so I'm like, yeah, it seems like any item that remains that's semi-healthy, could be good for you and cheap, they are hell-bent on destroying. And so here's one I've personally come across recently. So for those listening in, I do coffee roasting.
That like you take the beans from the store, or do you get like fresh beans?
Like I order beans from like the market, international market. I'll get like the sacks. They're like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I'm an importer of coffee beans, and I roast them and I sell them.
That fresh cacao.
Yeah. And okay, so I've been doing this for 2 years or so. I roast beans and I sell them. My most recent order I went to place, I noticed was drastically more expensive than any, like I couldn't get a cheaper price.
Shit.
And I noticed the supply was lower. Like they didn't have nearly as many available. So I'm thinking maybe it's a bad time of year. I'm thinking
it's like the cold season.
Or a shipment got lost. They've mismanaged inventory, so they're upping prices. I get it. Yada, yada. So I went ahead and reached out to my sales rep just because I wanted to know, are they going to be getting more coffee? I noticed the prices have really, and when I say they went up a lot, they were up 40% from like the last 2 months ago when I ordered 40%. So anyway, I reach out and they say, they gave me some hoopla, but even the sales rep didn't sugarcoat it. They said, coffee is actually a market traded commodity. So that dictates price. And so a market traded commodity is like oil or gold or water.
Yeah, what everybody seems to want it for.
Yeah, it's traded on futures. So the market value from like a chart standpoint dictates baseline cost.
Mm.
And they said it's never been this high ever. We've never seen anything like it. And don't expect it to go down anytime soon. We expect this trend to continue. So I looked up the chart of coffee, like, and it's literally exponential. Like, it's literally just been like this for 20 years.
Yeah.
And now it's like this. So I look into it further. There's some news articles coming out about it. It says coffee is, the highest price it's ever been. Here's why that might soon affect consumers. And it's going to be delayed because most businesses have a stockpile. They've already made massive orders that are at the previous rate.
Your Starbucks, your Dunkin' Donuts, your Walmart.
But it's expected in the next 3 to 4 months, there'll be a drastic increase in coffee prices across the board. And so here's how much this has went up. In the past 4 months alone, it's up over 40%. Year over year, it's up over 120% for coffee.
Oh
That's how
God.
fast the price of coffee is growing.
Okay, so we're talking Starbucks going from already it's exuberant price.
Yeah.
It's already like $5 minimum. If you get a black coffee served to you in a plain styrofoam cup,
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that my mocha cappuccino
It's probably like, oh, well, that mochi cappuccino, I mean, that's going to be like $15.
Oh, fuck me. Dude,
But yeah, it's getting that crazy.
and that's going to kill the middle class.
It is. And
Because that's like the only treat they get for themselves.
if you watch any fucking like business entrepreneur, self-help guru, fucking financial guru, one of the things they'll always say, it's so, kind of dumb, but right off the bat, hey, you want to get serious about your money? You're going to stop buying coffee out. You're going to get a drip coffee pot. You're going to make coffee at home. Pennies on the dollar. And it was.
Yeah, was.
That day is coming to an end now also.
It seems like they have an investment on keeping the middle class from being a thing completely.
Yes. Like, I really feel that, I'm not saying there's like necessarily a few key people who are doing this, but it seems like an orchestrated attack at this point. Like, all the things that the middle class average person likes to consume, that's a bargain. They're like, fuck you.
Oh, dude, this is the same thing that happened to vegans.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like? What do you know about that?
I don't know about vegans.
Okay.
Did they raise the prices of vegetables?
Oh, worse. Okay.
Hey,
so,
if you're just tuning in, leave us a chat.
come on, hit us up. We're talking vegans
And
Okay.
coffee.
Oh yeah.
And
Which
why
is-
that makes you a loser.
Nah. Well, being vegan maybe, but anyway. So vegans back in the late 1980s
Yeah.
and 90s, they were super clean, super fit, super good looking. My God, those guys had it made. They had it figured out.
Yeah.
No animal byproducts. Now, what stores and companies started to notice is that they didn't have a big market for them because vegetables, fruits, all that, they all go bad super fast.
Right.
So they started processing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you got vegan chocolate cake, vegan burgers,
Yeah.
vegan this, vegan that.
So you're saying the vegan community that was very healthy actually declined, not necessarily because veganism long term was unhealthy, but because the market itself manipulated it into them being unhealthy.
Capitalism inadvertently poisoned the vegans.
Yeah. I
Which-
could see that.
Which, I mean, to be fair, they were being pretty fucking smug about the whole thing. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
now that's one thing that I also did hate. I've had a few friends that have dabbled with veganism.
Yeah.
And like every single time, I can tell they're on a cleanse because the air of smugness about
Yes.
them. I'm like, wow, you haven't tasted a burger in what, 48 hours?
There's a couple things in life where if you partake in it, you have to talk about it. Veganism is one. Cold showers, that's another one. Jogging, being an avid runner.
What's it called? CrossFit?
Yes, yes. There's a couple things where if you take this up, part of taking it up, part of the hobby is flexing it.
Oh yeah, those guys with the standing desks.
Look at this chart.
Oh,
This is the coffee chart.
fuck me! It went from 140 to 385.5.
That's baseline per bag.
Get fucked. 38. But does it come in a pound?
Well, that's $385. That's the full sack. The price of a full sack.
Get fucked, man, dude. I got mad when McDonald's got rid of its dollar menu.
Yeah. It's everything, man. They want your soul. They want your lifeblood. Hell, even ramen. Do you buy ramen anymore?
Oh, dude, I buy ramen so much.
Even ramen is getting expensive.
So what they're going to do is they're going to kill the poor, and then they're going to make the middle class the new poor.
Yeah.
And then what was almost rich will become the new middle class.
Yes. And that is the cycle.
Oh my god, we're about to have so many more homeless people. Rent's going to skyrocket to like $700 for like a... It's going to be like New York. You get a bed.
If you've ever thought
else.
about taking up breatharianism, now is probably a good time to study it. Breatharian is people who exist only off air.
Oh my god.
They don't drink water or eat food. I've talked about this before.
Do they? So you're not allowed to eat anything with a shadow.
Well, all the nutrients a human body needs is in the air.
It sounds like an American Dad episode. I fucking
It really does. And Stan Smith, the episode ends with him like nuking the breatharian family off the block. Like they move in next door. Those breatharians. He gets the CIA on him.
Oh, dude, just lasers from the sky. Just. Oh my god, that's gonna be the new health phase. You know what? If you don't eat for 2 out of the 3 days out of the week,
Yeah.
you'll
But
feel so much better.
Coffee and eggs, one of the last few remaining safe havens for brokies. Yeah, they're taking that. Those are going away. That's going away.
I'm turning the America around. I don't want to associate it with this. So, question is does the American government choose to take a stranglehold on this and fix prices, or do we keep with capitalism?
We're going to keep with capitalism. I mean, Trump's in office.
No, I mean, should we keep with capitalism?
Yeah.
I feel like there should be some specifics on the free market.
Well, as much as I hate, because I'm optimistic long term, the most natural or most simple way to fix capitalism is most people would claim capitalism is the best, market that we've ever invented, that humans have ever invented. And I would agree. But all markets turn toxic at some point.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. I think capitalism, it just happens further down the road.
Yeah.
That's why there's late stage capitalism, but you don't hear anybody talking about late stage communism.
Yeah, well,
because they're all dead by then.
Well, you don't understand. Communism works.
Yeah.
On paper.
Yeah. When people aren't selfish and don't have their own interests and don't value power and status, communism is a great system.
Except for the ones on top.
But the best way for a healthy free market is if something makes it reset. Like if capitalism reset today and all the powerful entities that currently have a stranglehold were dissolved and new people had to, enter into the competition.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, of course it would be good for people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once business C notices that business B has raised their prices because business A did, that's when the change happens.
Well, you got to think, America used to be provided for by thousands of big corporations. Thousands. America today, I mean, is effectively owned and maintained by less than 100 megacorps.
I think it's like Fox, CNN,
Walmart.
Walmart,
Amazon.
and like Dasani water. They own everything. Dasani owns Pepsi. Pepsi owns Dasani.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
Yeah.
The carbonated water sugar drink is peddling water.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And so I just feel like, yeah, it needs a reset. And how do you get a reset without violence? Who knows? But
not the human race.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way that we do know how to do it. Actually, I love this little French article that I was reading the other day. I know, I read. I know that's surprising. But did you know, and for all of our listeners out there, this is only for scientific purposes and not for purposes of rebellion. But if you were to add just 2 pounds of sugar to 1 ton mix of concrete, it won't settle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The French did it back in the day, in the 80s, when they were trying to protest new prisons being built.
Oh, wow.
Now, the problem with creative protests is that you actually have to have the intelligence to do it. It could take a monkey with a shotgun to be violent.
Yeah.
Hell, just throw a chimpanzee into a pre-K, they'll be violent.
Mm-hmm.
But to be creatively non-violent, people aren't willing to put in the terms for that.
Well, there is a term the government calls creative nonviolence today. It's called terrorism. Because it actually has a negative impact.
Oh, just because it's effective, now it's terrorism?
Yeah.
Dude, like that guy that got released for the not January 4th. I want to say it was January
6th.
January 6th. Riots. Like, that guy got locked up, and now he's on everybody's fucking podcast.
Yeah, he is. Hey, you make it out the trenches, and then you can go on shows.
And you don't even have to hawk Tua on nothing. Well, I mean, while he was in prison, maybe.
Yeah.
But...
Hawk Tua has not returned. Since her crypto coin, she has not done a single thing publicly.
Well, I mean, when you're running a pyramid scam and then you get caught, just slink into anonymity.
Yeah.
Run away.
Well, she is actually being legally pursued.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Again, pyramid scheme. When you're at the top, it's easy to throw rocks.
Yeah. Did you see anything about the Grammys? You got your phone on you?
Kendrick Lamar getting like basically 5 to 8 awards for calling out Drake.
Yeah.
Drake
got slayed so hard. I almost felt bad for Drake. Because not only did he lose the B4, not only did Kendrick's diss track win a Grammy, but, and I had forgotten about this, one of the lines on Drake's diss track to Kendrick was, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now.
You know, one of the interns were like, sir, you need to hear this.
And they did. He won a Grammy.
And what's worse is that he's going to be playing at the Super Bowl. Can you...
And not only did he win the Grammy, when Kendrick went up for the acceptance speech, the part of the song they played while he was walking up was, "Hey Drake, I hear you like I'm young." And it ended with the A minor line, like as he's about to talk. And it's probably A minor, music cuts.
Hope they don't catch you on Cell Block 1. Dude, it brought Crips and Bloods together. It brought a nation together to just shit on Drake. What's funny is, like, if, like, 5 years ago when God's Plan came out, you would have told me that this shit would have happened, I'd have been like, yeah, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Drake's gonna get cut down. Dude, you can't even look at half of his videos right now without the comments disabled.
What really threw that beef off in Kendrick's favor is, I think Drake misread the market and Kendrick knew the market, and it was this. Okay, so rap and whatever had gotten soft for a while, and Drake absolutely excels at the
soft rap.
Like, yeah, the soft rap, but also like the innuendo dissing, like the crafty dissing. Like, oh, he said something that's like kind of clever.
Yeah.
And, you know, Drake's had beef and rap before, like with Pusha T with Kanye,
Yeah.
and they always tried to play the same game.
Yeah.
They tried to have creative disses and like clever jabs, and Kendrick said, "No, fuck being clever. I'm just literally gonna dog the hell out of you, point blank."
Drake's over here. He moves the pawn on the chessboard. Your turn, Kendrick. And Kendrick just stands up, slaps him in the fucking mouth. If you can't get up, you can't make your next play.
That's exactly how it played out. Like, because he really, I mean, of course, and it's probably A minor, like that's clever, but the majority of all of Kendrick's disses was just straight hate.
Yeah, and that's why like the beef between Slim Shady and Machine Gun Kelly, the reason it was so brief was because Shady came out with both hands just like,
yeah.
I'm about to backhand you with both of these. Yeah. Oh, you said that Haley was hot? Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me get my rings on real quick.
The genre switch really dealt Machine Gun Kelly another blow too, because even if he wanted to change genres, unrelated to that beef,
it's done.
Every single comment was, like Eminem got him so hard he changed genres.
Yeah, it's not like Post Malone where it's like he's a creative artist, a genius. He's spreading himself out a little bit.
I couldn't see Post Malone ever getting in an actual beef.
No, he's too real. And see, like that's what I love. That's what I love about Post Malone.
Yeah.
Like after listening to Something Real, where he's like actually having alcoholic shakes on stage.
Yeah.
And he's really bearing his soul. Like that's a real motherfucker. Like if he wanted to do accordion music, I'd at least listen to the first 3 songs.
Oh, I already know it would slap if he made an accordion album.
Yeah, dude. But like with Drake, if he were to come out with like a hard hitting like "fuck you, Kendrick, you ain't shit" album, I'd be like, this is only because he called you out.
It's so off-brand too, you know, and it would be a reaction at this point.
Yeah, no. If you done it like at the beginning, that would be like that's rap beef.
Yeah.
But like also with all the allegations and all that shit like that piled up on top of it too, it's like if I was Drake's publicist right now, I'd be like, it's about time for you to do the Prince thing and retire. It's about time to go ahead.
You can't go out like this.
It's better to go out now than to try and struggle and lose, because he's not coming back. Kendrick will come back with his other ring hand.
That's true. He's ready for it.
Dude, at this point, Drake is holding his fucking teeth. He's right here. He's picking them back up, trying to get them back in the grill.
That's true. It's so bad. Like I said, I actually kind of feel bad for Drake. I almost feel like something's going on behind the scenes where they won't let him do what he wants to do. Okay, it's so bad that, you know who Aiden Ross is?
Yeah.
He's like a top streamer.
Yeah.
And streamers have become like super celebrities now, some of them. And Drake went on Aiden Ross, you know, a super celebrity.
Yeah.
He had Trump on one of his streams.
Damn.
Yeah. So Drake goes on an Aiden Ross stream and he's reading. Part of the bit was Drake starts reading fan mail. And he's reading fan mail. And there's a line from a Drake fan that says, it's like, P.S. fuck Kendrick Lamar. And Drake is about to say it. He's like, I can't say that. And like, he doesn't even read fuck Kendrick Lamar out loud. He says, I can't say that.
Okay, well, this is a message out to Drake. Drake, we need you to go back to 1920s Canada. Before the Geneva Conventions and you guys got all fucking polite. We need you to be that violent hat. Like, I want to see... I genuinely want to see him at least attempt.
Yeah.
Logically, I know that it's better for him to just like, all right, guys, it was fun. Dab. And then be gone.
Yeah.
But he could have a shot if he could make some absolute banger.
So Kanye brought his wife out to the Grammys completely naked on the red carpet.
I'm gonna have to look up those pictures later.
Yeah, look them up. She's wearing a dress, but it's not even like a sheer dress or a see-through dress.
It's just like
it's like a condom, and not like a colored one, like a pure white.
1 minute, let me check the temperature.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's actually like 60 degrees.
He brought her out completely nude, and people are saying, you know, like, is he abusing her? Yada yada. She's always been an exhibitionist. That's part of what I'm like. She was the head designer of Balenciaga for like 2 years, and if you look up photos of her, half of them are basically no top or a see-through top, or no bottom or see-through bottoms. Like-
so like this is par for the course.
It is. It is par for the course for her. But she's never been this naked publicly. And they left right after.
I think it's because like, hey, sweetheart, everybody's looking at your nipples. Well, that's what the shirt's for.
Yeah.
No, but like I understand you like showing off, but like this is a little much even for you.
So that was a Grammy event. Yeah. But so I'll bring that up to go. Kanye's got an album coming out next couple months called Bully, and he always does crazy shit before albums. I'm sure this is part of it. But he's been doing interviews. He started back up doing interviews, and he brings up Kendrick, because Kanye's got a huge ego.
Yeah,
and he's like, I got to thank Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick ended my nemesis, Drake. He ended him.
They were nemesis.
Oh, dude, yeah. Most of the beef that Drake has had in his career has been with Kanye.
That doesn't count. He's going up against a mental institution person. That's
well,
like me.
Drake won every one of those beefs.
Oh my god, that's like getting bitch slapped by a fucking person wearing a helmet. That's not fair.
Yeah. And so Kanye admits that Kendrick ended his nemesis for him, and he's like, so I have to thank him. And Kanye goes, nobody's going to touch Kendrick in a beef right now. Nobody's going to touch Kendrick. But he goes, except for me. A psycho genius like me, I could. But, I don't got any beef with Kendrick. But he says, a psycho genius like me, I could. He could take Kendrick.
I'm peering into my crystal ball of forethought, and I foresee Kanye getting the dog shit slapped out of him like Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Will Smith is coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, with God, what was his name? Not Kid Gucci. It's like God, my friend told me about him. I can't fucking remember his name right now off the rip. I'm sorry, I've done a lot of drugs over the years. But he was actually on his album rapping.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How crazy is that? Will Smith rap, and it wasn't like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air rap, like It was like,
yeah, I mean, it's 30 years later. You gotta have some new style.
Joyner Lucas.
Oh, yeah, he does a lot with Eminem.
Yeah, dude. But like Will Smith, that'd be like if somebody invited Chris Rock on. That'd be like if Kendrick Lamar invited Chris Rock onto his album.
I could see that.
Oh my god, just do the yin to that yang.
Yeah,
that would be fucking hilarious. I would pay money to go to that concert.
Yeah. So yeah, good old Grammys.
Yeah.
Oh, and Beyonce won Album of the Year for an album nobody's listened to.
Beyonce came out with an album. This
Exactly. Nobody fucking listened to that album. It's kind of an outrage because Grammys aren't decided by like public vote.
It's by the shadow.
It's a panel.
Yeah.
It's a shadow panel that gives these awards out, and people are enraged about that one.
Well, see, like it
was a country album also. Beyonce country album. It's called Cowboy Carter.
I think I've heard one song.
Texas Hold'em.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only song I've ever heard.
That's the only song anybody's heard from Beyonce in 10 years.
And to be fair, like Beyonce, fine as she is a goddess on the eyes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would pay money to lick her toilet paper. Like, just I would drag my asshole across a sea of broken glass just to sniff her.
She's mid, bro.
She's mid.
Beyonce is mid.
Dude, I would punch a nun to kiss Lizzo.
She's mid.
I would eat 100 cockroaches.
Well, I'm sorry, but you need to up your standards.
Oh man, dude, from what? Taylor Swift? Everybody wants to fuck that bag full of coat hangers.
Taylor Swift is hotter than Beyonce. There is no question. Taylor Swift is hotter than Beyonce. We know this.
This is wrong, and you know it.
No.
Way to try and keep a beautiful black woman down. I can't believe this.
Well, to be fair, I only said Beyonce was mid. She's attractive. Mid is attractive.
She is fine. Boy, I would...
She's like 45.
Dude, I would eat a baby legs first just to smell her.
Well, some people think that's part of her diet.
Like, I'll give her all the babies she can swallow then. I'm not gonna lie. I would be. I would look a tenth of my weight for how much baby gravy
Yeah.
I'd produce for that woman. Like, I'm sorry, I like them thick.
Yeah.
Like her, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, all of them beautiful.
Yeah.
Fucking,
I wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, across the board, man. She's fine. Plus, like, she'd hit those high notes if you were doing it right. She'd be like, woo, woo,
No, wait a minute. I'm telling you, Beyonce is overrated in terms of appearance and mute. She's just overrated.
man. I don't know.
You know how many chicks are hotter than Beyonce? Okay, give me one. Just women hotter than Beyonce.
Nicki Minaj. What?
I'm just starting to think that your criteria for hot woman is thickness.
It is definitely a factor. Because, like, again, if I'm going to rail someone, I don't want my first thought to be, I'm going to break your ribs.
Yeah. The whole argument of the fucking dudes who like thick chicks like to say is, well, yeah, what are you going to grab onto with a bag of bones? I'm like, what are you going to grab?
Grab the rib cage, play the xylophone.
There's a lot to grab.
No, there's
Yes,
not.
there
There is
is.
a lack of grab.
There is a lot to grab.
There is negative grab.
There's smallness so you can grab it better.
There is no grab. If you grab her too hard, you're gonna break her like a fucking bird in your hands. What, you want to go ahead and be able to slam your woman up against the wall? That's great. That's fine. That's fantastic. But when she calls you with spina bifida,
Yeah, I mean, that is a bad, that is a negative part.
I don't want to give out back shots and then have to worry the next day that I'm going to hear, ow.
But, okay, so, face to body, though, what's more important? If it's a, nice Nicki Minaj body,
But like a 0 in the face.
0 in the face, how attractive is that woman? Nicki Minaj body, 0 in the face. Scale of 1 to 10, put together. Where are you at?
What's the personality like? Because like I can move
Good
past-
personality. Decent
Oh,
personality.
Done. She's an 8. If you've got a rockin' bod,
Yeah.
you can get away with so much. In my book. And I mean, not like murder or anything like that, but like if you come home at 10 a.m. and you're smelling like booze, I'm not going to bust your chops. I'm going to bust your cheeks.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But like, I'm sorry. But like, there, for me, like.
Who's hotter than Nicki Minaj?
Ooh, who has the biggest ass in the industry? I might go with Lizzo. I mean, again, like thick thighs.
Lizzo.
Thick thighs.
Lizzo.
And she's a freak. And she got money. Lizzo, if you're listening right now, baby girl, I'm right here. Take care of me. I'll take care of you.
He has an issue. He has lots of issues, but in my mind, this is his biggest one.
Thick women.
He is so addicted to thick women. I'm convinced he would give up every drug habit he has for super thickie.
Let me mainline someone whose pant size is like a fucking 82 and it's all ass. I will give up everything. Smoking, drinking. But Duggery, I will be a house husband.
You can be with Nicki Minaj. You can never have another vice again.
Ooh. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I won't even drink soda. I'll drink like that mango prune juice, whatever.
You're crazy, man.
Dude, I didn't say like Kim Kardashian. Like, although she's fine in the body, it's just like the personality. I watched one episode of that show and I was like, 2. She's a 2.
Now, I think Phil, I got somebody in the chat, Phil, going, there are more hotter non-celebrities than celebrities. Okay, let me pick you up on that.
Now, there are some hometown goths that
there are hometown beauties for sure, but I think your average celebrity is definitely more attractive than your average person. I mean, surely you're not saying that, because of course there are more just genuinely hot people out there than celebrities.
Yeah, but like there's also celebrities that can maintain it longer because they're eating like bat larvae and fucking
goop.
Yeah, fucking
Gwyneth Paltrow's goop.
Yeah, but
vaginal scented candles.
It smells like low tide and a little bit of copper.
How come no man has come out with ball sweat candle? I mean, the girls are doing it. Like, Is that not a market? Like, surely people would want to buy the ball sweat candle.
The LGBT community, you're sleeping on metrics right now. Oh my god, did you get the new Ryan Reynolds ball sweat? Actually, it's Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling.
Yeah. But no, thick chicks, no. It's slim, like small. Yes,
Yucky.
that is attractive.
Nasty. See, I've got the Viking DNA in me, along with other ones that we don't talk about because of the Second World War.
Yeah.
DNA inside me, and wide hips
Yeah.
and big breasts. They
I will
just-
tell you
they
one
just
thing.
do it for me.
And if my girlfriend is listening, I think this will be a compliment, a rare moment of a true compliment to my girlfriend on the podcast, coupled with a little bit of misogyny. But anywho, one of the things that brings me a lot of joy and peace to my soul is when I was a teenager. We've all got our celebrity crushes, right?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
You know, you see, hot women, hot celebrities, you're like, man, if I could just
one time.
one time. And now that I've gotten a little older and I've got a younger girlfriend, I look at these celebrities I used to idolize that are women, and I'm like, my girl is actually hotter than these women by a mile. Like, exponentially hotter.
Well, there's also all the celebrity pieces, and also your childhood fantasy typically doesn't end up being a reality for long.
But I'm like, all I had to do was wait 10 years, and I got to get even hotter. Like,
well, to be fair,
like,
like
no-
my fucking childhood celebrity crush was Pink. I don't know if you've watched her. She went from pink. She's damn near dark purple.
well,
at
my
this
ex-wife
point.
was a pink.
Yeah, and that bitch is damn near black at this point. Like, if we're using scale to color for like how they aged, not good.
Yeah, but she had pink vibes.
Yeah, no, she did. But like, there's Pink, and then there's Pink vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
But Pink was a very masculine celebrity.
yeah, and
I was not attracted to Pink.
oh, I was. She could have walked me around on a dog leash, and I'd have been fine with it.
So I got somebody in the chat going, face is better than body overall.
I have met a lot of big chicks that aren't thick in the right way with beautiful faces, gorgeous faces, but they were built like Humpty Dumpty, and I was like,
Okay, Phil.
friend.
Okay, I've got a question for Phil. Okay, face is better than body overall is what is being stated. You got two options. Okay. Yeah, you can work it out, but there are some people you could go are probably past the point of return. So let's say you've got a choice between, not to discredit Ian's preferences, but I know that Phil despises this person. So let's say you got a choice between Lizzo with a beautiful face. To be fair, I think you might be thinking about SZA instead of Lizzo, because SZA's got curves, but Lizzo's like a tank.
But again, either way, look, I've stuck my dick in bigger and a lot
So,
smaller. So
Phil, you got the option between Lizzo with the most beautiful face on earth, or you've got the option between the best body on earth and, like just some hideous face. Like, I'm trying to think of one that would really stand out.
not even hideous. Let's like
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage. Like, he's not ugly, don't get me wrong, but like a dude, like
Yeah.
a lady with a beard.
Which are you choosing? That's what I want to know. Which would you choose?
Who was that one bitch in the rapper with the that got kicked out of the Uber from last week's episode?
Dank Demos.
Yeah. That's where the line has been so far
Dank
crossed.
Demos sounds like the kind of fungus you would accumulate from being overweight.
Dank
Like when they
Demos.
when they open up the crevices,
There's like little mushrooms
and the
shit.
doctor's like, "Ma'am, you've got an outbreak of Dank Demos."
Dude, that sounds like a that sounds like a terrible way to refer to her pussy. Do you shave? No, I've got Dank Demos. What do we got? What
Out
do
of
we
the
got?
two, the one with a good body and average face.
No, we're not
That's what he
talking
said.
average face. We're talking Peter Dinklage. completely looks.
A dude? No,
Like
it has
a-
to be a woman's face.
Who's got a busted face as a woman?
Well, a lot of the older ones that have had like too much work done. But I'm trying to think of one that really stands out. Like that's a celebrity.
God,
That's
God, what is her name? There is one. She looks
okay.
Kathy Bates.
Oh, that's it.
Kathy Bates face, 10 out of 10 body.
No, that's not as universally known. So, but yeah, Kathy Bates, 10-10 body. Which would you choose? But if you don't know Kathy Bates, I don't think this person's that unattractive. You could also say Hillary Clinton.
Oh, or Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi's better.
Now that bitch looks like Skeletor. And I can say that because she's not in office anymore and she won't murder me.
Yep. No, Nancy's still in office, bro. Yeah.
Nancy, I would consider it if you put on a plastic bag on me.
I know Nancy Pelosi still fucks. I know it. She's too much of an animal in Congress.
I don't know, dude. After all those,
She got so much fighting spirit.
just walks up to her husband, grabs him by the dick. It's been a long day. Gonna be a long night, boy. Okay.
Lizzo over Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not me. I'm picking Nancy.
Yuck. Have fun banging Skeletor.
I hate to say it. That's a crazy pick for me, but
Dude, she's gonna look back at you while you're hitting and she's gonna be like, yeah, and then run down the fucking hall. Until we meet again. She's gonna fucking look at your dick. She's gonna be like, "What's this? What's this?
Yeah.
It's magic in the air." She looks like if Jack Skellington put a wax melt on her fucking face,
yeah.
and you'd still,
Over Lizzo, yeah.
dude. You were making fun of me for who was it? Beyonce. She's like 50 years old. Nancy Pelosi used to
I
ride
said
dinosaurs.
Beyonce was mid and she is attractive. I wasn't making fun. It's making fun for, yeah.
How does it feel to be on that bicycle with all that backpedaling?
I mean, it's delightful.
Jesus Christ.
The truth is, chat, guys who like thick chicks have mommy issues, okay? That's it. Their mother didn't love them enough.
No, I'd like to make them mothers. That's the issue.
Because, see, what you're looking for is a mom with a thick chick.
No, what I'm looking for is a woman that knows how to cook, and I would sooner go with a fat chef than a skinny chef. I don't trust skinny chefs. That's like a doctor that says, chaw, bro.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. No, I don't care that you went to school for 12 years and you passed the bar.
There's a reason they're
Y'all.
called mommy milkers, though.
Yes, because they get bigger when you make them mummies. That's the upgrade.
Mommy milkers.
Look, I'm just saying, thick chicks typically are some of the sweetest.
Now,
And
I will give
most-
you this. Hand over fist, you got me there. If you're looking for a good personality, you're far more likely to find it on a thick girl.
And I'll say
Like, far more likely.
and I'll say this about my girlfriend, like when she walks, both cheeks jiggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her every morning, noon, and night. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not for the ass, it's for the heart. But when she puts me between her thighs and then tries to crush my head like a watermelon, the love meter just keeps going up. Let's see your little fucking skinny broads try and do that.
Yeah.
If you ain't suffocating when you're going down under, you're not really living.
I see.
Jesus Christ. We're gonna get canceled the second week in Traction.
I think we got shadow banned tonight right off because maybe it was the Topo Chicos or the title. I think the title screwed us. They have AIs detecting offensive titles. And yeah. I thought the simps would join in. That was kind of I've noticed there's so many simps online. I don't just mean for women. I mean like motivational like men speakers.
Like, you don't suck. Just go out there and do it.
No. Like, the new meta is like, you do suck. You are a lazy piece of shit. You are unattractive.
And we are dual streaming to Twitch, aren't we?
And here's why. Yeah.
Well,
If you buy my $50 course, you're finally going to stop being all those things.
Yeah, which is hilarious because Andrew Tate starting that is the equivalent of like the girls on the commercials in the fucking 90s. Call us.
I think we could probably go out on this being the last topic. It's an observation I want to share.
All right.
Because I like to keep track of the men motivational speakers. I find them entertaining.
Yeah.
Most of them are a form of serious parody to me. Like, I know they're being serious, but I kind of watch them as like a satirical parody. And they all sell something, right?
It's a
Like-
workout routine. It's a lifestyle. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah.
And when I really like extract the essence of who these people are, because most of these people are quite successful.
Yeah.
The ones selling the courses or selling the programs, they're successful people.
Yeah, there's this one guy with Shinify. He's only got like 2,000 viewers, but he's like, I've made millions.
And I think, would this person who's selling this to me actually himself buy this program? And 90% of the time I conclude no, because they're so self-driven, they're so independent, they're so ambitious naturally that they would never find themselves looking for direction. They wouldn't find themselves buying something to find direction.
Well,
They would be culminating it
Yeah.
on their own.
And that's the difference between like the wise old mountain man on the mountain versus like the student on the hill.
Mm-hmm. And so I always think, of course, to build a following, you have to have people kind of submit themselves to what you believe and say. But the best following would be when you manage to make everyone like go away.
Mm. Oh, what?
So, like, let's say you want to sell people on how to get rich.
Yeah.
And you build 100,000 subscribers on how to get rich. If you're actually doing your job, there'll come a point where you lose all of them.
Well, to a degree. Because the method that they use will become oversaturated.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, and you could get new people, but what I'm saying is, if you really teach people, the end goal is that they walk away.
Yeah, it's kind of like teach a man to fish versus giving a man a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, the people who sell these things just peddle an endless stream of slightly variated products.
Yeah. And you can see that all over the place. There's a couple of them that are legitimate. Like
Yeah.
some of your workout gurus and shit like
Yeah.
that. There's new medical facts that come out all the time.
And so I think if you really cared about your base, you really cared about your fans, the first thing you'd be striving for is their independence. So like when you come out on stage and you're like, who's ready to make some fucking money?
You just have one guy in the back.
Well, I've been to conferences like that. And by invite, not because I went on my own. And they really get into it. It's like a cult feel. Like, yeah, we're all going to be successful and fit and rich, and they're all screaming. The first thing would be, my primary goal is to make sure you never come to another one of these fucking seminars again. That is my goal.
That's because you don't like you've got a good heart.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like these people are operating from a place of get money, fuck bitches.
Yeah, I think they think of the people like cows.
Yeah.
They're
That's-
like, just put them on the range, sell them some info products, and at some point we'll take them out to slaughter with our $2,000, upscale tiered program. Like, yeah, you can do the $50 a month, but if you charge $2,000 a month, you're gonna become a part of this special group.
Yeah, the secret Discord.
You've seen that, right?
Oh yeah, dude, with that whole Andrew Tate thing when it first dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's effectively the secret Discord is when the cow gets into the rancher's trailer and goes to the slaughterhouse to get a rod shot through the back of its head.
Well, actually, it's more of a long-term thing. That's where they get to go to be dairy cows for a while. You get to go to this exclusive club away from all these sheep, They're
Yeah.
only here to get slaughtered. You will get a deluxe package with
Yeah.
a shaded environment
Yeah.
where people will come by and milk you every day.
Yeah.
And then when the money runs out, that's when the slaughterhouse treatment hits.
So yeah, all the people you look up to and you want to be like, at their core, are independent people.
Oh yeah.
And so if you are hoping to get their life and their results by emulating them, by listening to them, you can only go so far. You can only go so far, because at the end of the day, they're where they're at because they're independent in some sense. They're creators rather than consumers.
Yeah. And everybody's kind of built different. Everybody's story is just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are some billionaires that have lost all their money
Yeah.
and then made their way back, a la your Trumps. I know I keep bringing them up, but you've also got a lot of people that do the same practices that he did, but it was in the 80s before they had shit like the internet to automatically track the shit.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, so you want a credit score of 800, but we can see back from like 10 years ago, your credit score is like 5.
Yeah.
There is not a way I'm going to give you a loan to start another fucking business.
And the a mental trick to become more original, more independent, is just steadily reduce your consumption in all forms. The less you consume, the more you have to naturally form a self-identity.
And see, that's also another thing too, is you got to know when and what to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because like everybody on nowadays is all about self-acceptance and shit like that. And oh, you should just love you for you. But the problem being is that most people are kind of shit.
Yeah. The love you for you, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna love me even though I literally am just a lazy piece of shit.
Oh yeah, I sold my baby for heroin money, but I need to just go ahead and move past that.
You see that a lot in like the women retreat kind of area.
Well, you know, I did nothing with my life but suck his dick and sit at his house. But you need to love you for you. You're very special. Oh wait, Kay, what's special about me? You know that.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of non-answers. I fucking hate that shit. I really do. I think that people like John Mulaney, which I watch him from time to time because it's kind of like a Christian Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
And he is about acceptance and love and everything, but he's also the first person to be like, this is a fucked relationship. Run. Don't
run.
Don't walk. Get the fuck out of it. You need to love you.
Skirt, 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 skirt.
And that's what I love about him. I mean, I take some of his messages to heart, but I don't try and make my life like his.
Yeah.
Because again, everybody's different. And I think that's both horrific and beautiful about the world.
So horrific, so beautiful.
Like staring into the ass of God.
Yes. If you stare long enough, it'll stare right back at you.
Ah, yes, the abyss. AKA Las Vegas.
So yeah, it's been a good night.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Hey.
Even if we were shadow banned, we'll get you next week.
Yeah. Next time we won't do coke on screen.
Yeah.
We'll
Stay in the light.
And remember, stay positive, test negative.